Hirschi and Stora in that group with Kras.
Yep, slightly flatter section they just had. Another group further back trying to claw their way back on. Now the gradients pick up again with 1.7 to go. Fortunato just 10 metres off the back, and it's his teammate, last man on that front group. Johannesson, Anders, the man to make the junction.
Carapaz trying to come across here and make sure he's in the mix as well. Seeing the first bit of weakness from Zerai, just starting to lose contact at the back of that group. 1.5 kilometres remain, and still Adam Yates plugging away, trying to set up his teammate Isaac Del Toro for what would be his first ever one-day victory as professional.
And coming into this race, well, we looked at the start list and said, got to be favourite after what he did in Tirreno, but look how comfortable Ben Tullet is.
He's looked good in some of the one-day racing earlier this season. He's had his bad luck with injuries in the last couple of years, but he's an immensely talented rider, is Ben Tullet. He has to be a factor here.
Oh, both Astana riders of this group in trouble now going off the back. Johannesson hanging just a couple of lengths back as well now. So Adam Yates winding it up again and just strangling the rest of this elite group at the front.
UAE Emirates in control as long as Del Toro has it in him to try and finish this off, but we know that there's surprise around every corner in bike racing. There is Yates, who looks around and surveys the damage. Anders Harlan Johannesson still off the back here. It's been a good performance again by Uno X, who've had some of their own best moves, and the main move is now coming from Isaac Del Toro. The acceleration from the Mexican out there on the paddles. He's not able to drop them all yet, though, because Tobias Holland Johannesson can follow. Ben Tullet's not far away, and now Isaac Del Toro goes for dig number 2. Just over 1 kilometre to go, but he's still not yet able to get rid of them.
Blown the rest of the group apart, but what a reaction here from Johannesson and Tullet, and now in the box set, because Del Toro's feeling, I've got to go on with this. I've made the attack. I've got to keep pushing. He's got to believe he can make them crack. But Johannesson, maybe the first couple of pedal strokes looked difficult. Then he looked comfortable in the wheel and able to match the pace of Del Toro. And Ben Tullet has not missed a beat.
Tullet, who last won at the Tour of Norway almost 2 years ago, now waits. Who's going to make the next move? We're inside the final kilometre now, Robbie.
Yeah, and it's Johannesson who looks over the shoulder and accelerates as he goes. Tullet to close the gap, and Del Toro says, I made the first one. I'm now the passenger. You two do a bit of pace making. So it's Tullet who covers Johannesson. Del Toro watches and waits. Norway,
in the red jersey. Behind Yates is still trying to make sure he's there or thereabout to provide some assistance, but he's not going to chase his mate down here. It's a delicate tactical situation. 600 metres to go, and Del Toro's already put in 2 digs.
Yeah,
Tobias Harlan Johannesson looking around.
He knows he packs a sprint, Del Toro. The others will know that too. So he won't be too bothered that he didn't get rid of everybody with the attack, because he's got another weapon.
2 former Tour de l'Avenir winners here. Johannesson and Del Toro up against a man who has been talked about since he was a teenager, Ben Tullet. And it is Johannesson who goes, and that's an acceleration. A big one at that. Del Toro waits and he forces Tullet to try and close this. Tullet at the minute isn't getting on turns, however, and Johannesson is riding away. There's a second effort from the young Briton now, trying to get onto the back wheel. This time he gets closer, but he's not quite there, Robbie.
Not quite there, and Del Toro, he totally missed the move, not even looking at Johannesson. He was surprised by the move, but it's closing down now. Johannesson's reached his limit. Tullet in the wheel, 3rd position, Del Toro.
And it's Tullet who goes for it. Tullet makes the move. He sensed that there's a weakness behind Del Toro, not able to react properly just yet, but he's there, waiting on that wheel and ready to go. He surely, if he can live up to what we've seen from him before, has that final acceleration. 200 metres to the line now in the oldest classic in the world. This is where it flattens out a little bit, and now we get the acceleration. Here comes Del Toro. This is what they've been building up to all day long. The beautiful sight in front is spectacular, and so is the move here from the Mexican. Del Toro around the corner. He'll survey the crowd, sees the gap behind, and he knows he's about to celebrate a win. A great job, finished off, and have that. Isaac Del Toro winning Milano Torino, and it is a first ever one-day stage win for him.
Well, a performance like that from Del Toro, well, it deserves the applause, and in turn it all deserves a bow which he gave across the line. Adam Yates, after working for Del Toro, rolling in for fourth, and Rubio completing that top five.
Yet again spectacular at Superga.
Anders Johannesson, Cepeda.
Couple of riders again for XTS Astana in the top 10, one just outside it maybe as well. There's Ulisi. There have been some big performances here, but the biggest coming from this man, Isaac Del Toro, the winner of a one-day race for the first time.